Mastering habits to get ahead of 99% of men. Getting ahead in life isn't about being born into wealth, having perfect looks, or even having connections. It's about mastering the right habits, staying consistent, and maintaining an edge over the competition. In this video, we'll break down the simple daily habits that will put you ahead of 99% of men. These are actionable habits you can start implementing immediately. Habits that have transformed not only my life, but countless others as well. Stick around to the very end, because the last habit I'll share is the #1 secret that ties everything together. It's a game changer. If you apply this, your life will never be the same. Let's get started. Every day begins with a choice: to take control or to coast through on autopilot. One of the biggest changes in my life happened when I mastered my mornings. In my early 20s, I was like most guys, hitting the snooze button 5 times and dragging myself out of bed. My day would start with chaos, and it would continue in that direction. Then I discovered the power of owning my mornings. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything else. Start with intention. Wake up early, not because it sounds impressive, but because it gives you a head start. Use that time to focus on what matters: exercise, planning, reading, or simply being still and clearing your mind. When I began waking up at 5 a.m. consistently, my productivity shot through the roof. I started every day with clarity and purpose, while most people were still in bed. Success doesn't come to the man who's unprepared. It comes to the man who's ahead. The second habit is one that's non-negotiable: developing both your body and your mind. A man who's physically strong exudes confidence, and a man who's mentally sharp commands respect. For years, I underestimated the power of fitness. I thought it was just about looking good. Then, I realized it's about discipline. When you push yourself in the gym, you're not just building muscles, you're building character. The discipline of showing up, pushing through pain, and overcoming limits transfers to every other area of your life. But don't stop at physical strength. Feed your mind, read books, listen to podcasts, take courses. I remember reading *Atomic Habits* by James Clear. It completely changed how I saw personal growth. Instead of focusing on big, dramatic changes, I started stacking small habits consistently. That's where real progress happens. If you can't communicate effectively, you'll be stuck on the sidelines while others take the opportunities you're chasing. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about listening, understanding, and connecting with others on a deeper level. Early in my career, I struggled to make an impact. I had ideas, but I didn't know how to express them confidently. It wasn't until I focused on improving my communication skills, reading books on influence, practicing public speaking, and honing my ability to listen, that I started seeing results. Here's a tip: practice speaking to yourself. It sounds odd, but it works. Record yourself explaining something, then listen back. Over time, you'll sound more polished and natural. Most men are too busy chasing the next thing to pause and reflect. But self-reflection is one of the most underrated tools for growth. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what went well? What didn't? What can I do better tomorrow? I used to ignore this entirely. I'd make the same mistakes over and over because I wasn't learning from them. Once I started journaling, my progress accelerated. Writing things down forces you to confront the truth. It also helps you track patterns, both good and bad. The goal is progress, not perfection, and the only way to progress is by learning from your experiences. Look around. The people you spend the most time with are shaping who you are. If you're surrounded by negativity, laziness, and excuses, you'll adopt those traits. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are driven, ambitious, and focused, their energy will elevate you. In my mid-20s, I made a tough decision to distance myself from some old friends. It wasn't because I didn't care about them. It was because their habits were dragging me down. Instead, I started networking with people who were where I wanted to be. That decision alone changed the trajectory of my life. Your circle matters. Choose wisely. Here's something most men don't realize: failure isn't the enemy. Staying stagnant is. Every successful man has failed, multiple times. The difference is they use failure as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point. One of the biggest failures in my life was launching a business that completely flopped. I invested time, money, and effort, only to see it crash and burn. But that failure taught me lessons I couldn't have learned any other way, lessons that led to my next success. Reframe how you see failure. It's not the end, it's the beginning of growth. Here it is. Consistency beats intensity every time. The truth is, most men fail not because they lack ambition, but because they rely on bursts of intensity rather than sustained effort. Intensity is like a spark. It burns bright but fades quickly. Consistency, on the other hand, is a slow-burning fire that grows stronger over time. Here's an example. Imagine a guy who decides to hit the gym. He's fired up, so he goes all out for the first week, lifting heavy, running long distances, maybe even trying to diet at the same time. By the second week, he's burned out, sore, and frustrated. Compare that to another guy who starts small, lifting 3 days a week, walking for 20 minutes daily, and slowly improving his eating habits. By the end of the year, the second guy is in far better shape because he stayed consistent while the first guy fizzled out. This principle doesn't just apply to fitness, it's true in every area of life. In your career, showing up every day, completing small but meaningful tasks, and building momentum is more impactful than waiting for bursts of inspiration to tackle massive projects. Success isn't built on one big break. It's built on a foundation of small daily victories. In relationships, consistency in how you communicate, show respect, and invest time is what builds trust and connection. Relationships aren't strengthened by one grand gesture. They're nurtured through consistent effort. In personal growth, reading one page of a book every day may seem insignificant, but over a year, that's 365 pages, an entire book or two. Meditating for 5 minutes a day may not seem transformative, but it can completely change your mindset over time. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Consistency creates compounding results. Just like money in a bank account with interest, your daily actions build on each other. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll see results. Let's take an example from real life. When I started waking up early and dedicating just 30 minutes every morning to personal development, whether it was reading, journaling, or working on a side project, I didn't see results immediately. For weeks, it felt like I was just going through the motions. But after a few months, I started noticing the changes. My mindset was sharper, my goals were clearer, and I was making progress while others were still sleeping. Think about how small habits build momentum. Writing 200 words a day equals a full book in a year. Doing 20 push-ups daily equals 7,300 push-ups a year. Saving $10 a day equals $3,650 saved in a year, money you can invest. These small, consistent actions create an edge over time, a gap that widens exponentially compared to men who stop and start. Consistency isn't about willpower. It's about creating systems and making habits automatic. Here's how you do it. 1. Start small. Don't aim to overhaul your life overnight. Pick 1 or 2 habits to focus on and keep them manageable. If you're new to fitness, start with a 10-minute walk instead of an hour-long workout. If you want to read more, commit to just 1 page a day. 2. Track your progress. Use a notebook, an app, or even a simple checklist. Tracking your habits keeps you accountable and gives you a sense of accomplishment. I personally use a habit tracker to monitor my daily progress. It's a visual reminder of my consistency. 3. Tie your habits to existing routines. Stack new habits onto ones you already do. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after brushing your teeth in the morning. If you want to meditate, do it immediately after your workout. 4. Focus on the process, not the outcome. This is key. Don't obsess over the results in the beginning. Focus on showing up every day. The results will follow naturally as you stick to the process. 5. Prepare for setbacks. You're going to mess up. That's life. What matters is how quickly you get back on track. Missing 1 day won't derail your progress, but missing 3 or 4 days can. The goal is progress, not perfection. The real power of consistency is how it shapes your identity. Every time you show up, you're reinforcing the belief that you're the type of man who gets things done. It's no longer about motivation or external rewards. It becomes who you are. For example, when I started consistently hitting the gym, I stopped seeing myself as someone who tries to work out and started seeing myself as someone who is fit. That identity shift is incredibly powerful. When you identify as the type of person who works hard, learns daily, or stays disciplined, you're far less likely to break those habits. Getting ahead of 99% of men doesn't require extraordinary talent. It requires ordinary actions, done consistently. This is the secret most men overlook. They're searching for shortcuts or hacks, while the real winners are putting in the work daily, stacking small wins that compound over time. If you master this one principle, you won't just get ahead, you'll stay ahead. While others are starting and stopping, you'll be steadily moving forward, creating an unshakable foundation for success. Consistency isn't flashy, but it's unstoppable. It's the quiet, relentless force that builds greatness. You now have the blueprint to get ahead of 99% of men. The habits we've discussed: owning your mornings, building mental and physical strength, mastering communication, self-reflection, surrounding yourself with winners, embracing failure and staying consistent, are simple, but they're not easy. The difference lies in your willingness to apply them. If you're ready to take things to the next level, check out the description below. You'll find tools like ebooks and courses that I've personally created to guide you on your journey to becoming a true Titan. Start your transformation today. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any of the powerful content we're putting out to help you level up your life. Remember, the path to success isn't crowded. It's waiting for men like you who are ready to do the work. I'll see you in the next video.